How to stop giving unlimited chances to people who keep screwing you over. Ah, yes, the endless carousel of second chances, where you, the emotionally exhausted saint, keeps extending golden tickets to people who've shown you time and time again that they cannot be trusted to hold one. You say they didn't mean it. Well, everyone makes mistakes. Maybe this time will be different. If you're auditioning for the same emotionally negligent character for a starring role in your life again and again, this isn't kindness. It's self-abandonment in a ball gown. I'm Dylan Moore, author, cognitive behavior specialist, and dedicated advocate for women's empowerment and men's emotional healing. In this discourse, let's unveil transformative strategies to restore your balance, reclaim your power, and anchor you in unshakable strength. Together, let's unravel the absurd social expectations that have long kept so many trapped in a labyrinth of self-imposed chaos, all while the inherited beliefs that have gaslit us into self-doubt. We can learn how to dismantle the emotional nonsense we've been conditioned to accept as completely normal. Well, why you keep handing out passes to people who keep failing you? If you find yourself stuck in the cycle of forgiveness on tap, consider the following. You were raised to believe that loyalty means tolerating dysfunction. From families that equated love with suffering to partners who praise you for your patience while exploiting it, well, you were trained for this. You believe empathy should override accountability. You understand their pain, their past, their trauma, but empathy, my friend, without boundaries isn't compassion, it's codependence. You confuse disappointment with destiny. If you grew up constantly disappointed, your nervous system might believe that waiting for someone to finally get it right is what love feels like. Well, charming. You're addicted to the fantasy, not the reality. You're not in love with who they are. You're in love with their potential. This, however, is a difference between a fixer-upper and a lost cause. The trauma response is called repetition compulsion and the fawn response. In therapeutic terms, the cycle often stems from repetition compulsion, a subconscious drive to recreate familiar emotional wounds in the hopes of finally rewriting the ending. Pair that with the fawn response, a trauma response where one seeks safety through people-pleasing and conflict avoidance, and you have a perfect storm. Your psyche is attempting to resolve old pain by giving unworthy people unlimited access, because if this time it works, perhaps the original wound will finally heal. But let me be exquisitely clear. Healing doesn't happen by reenacting pain. It happens by disrupting the pattern. Now, a revelation of the hidden cost of unlimited chances. If you were truly sorry, why did nothing change? Apologies without behavior are just manipulation in pearls. If you keep forgiving, what are you teaching them? That your boundaries are ornamental, they're lovely, but entirely optional? If you left, who would actually miss you? And what would merely miss the benefits of your tolerance? If you believe love means staying through repeated harm, who taught you that? And are they someone whose example you really want to follow? Now, a moment of enlightenment. How do we stop offering unlimited access to people who've earned none? Write a list. Repeat offenses. If you're constantly re-explaining your boundaries, it's not miscommunication, it's called disrespect. Set one final boundary and actually enforce it. No threats, no drama, just action. Stop explaining your standards to people who aren't committed to rising to them. If someone finds your boundaries unreasonable, they were benefiting from your lack of them. Forgive yourself for staying too long. You weren't weak. You were just hopeful. And now you're wiser. Why these steps work? Yes, even in therapy. From a cognitive behavioral perspective, these actions rewire your brain to recognize self-respect as safety, not submission. Every time you enforce a boundary, your nervous system learns that you are safe because of your standards, not in spite of them. And when you choose integrity over nostalgia, you finally begin to close the chapter on relationships that only never offered you emotional bankruptcy in a velvet glove. And now, a most inconvenient revelation. Giving people endless chances doesn't make you noble, it makes you complicit in your own exhaustion. So tell me, who have you been hoping will change? And more importantly, who might you become if you stop waiting for them to do so? Drop a like or comment below. Let's normalize protecting your peace like it's an heirloom passed down from your most precious, respected ancestor. Today, we rise. Together, we thrive. Let's rise into a new life of personal power and freedom.